Hi, 6th grade. Today we're working on Workbook 259. So we're following up with some work we did yesterday in your textbook. Today's work is just in your workbook, 259 and then 260. So notice it is on distances and the coordinate plane. We always want to start with the gray box towards the top of the workbook page to help us out. So they're giving us some example problems and we'll work through those first. So they show you a coordinate plane up towards the top right, and you'll use that for several of your problems. The first one, they give you 2 points. A is 5, 4, so we'll fill that in here. And B is 5, negative 3. So over 5, down negative 3, 5, negative 3. Okay, so you can see that that is a vertical line, and it is parallel to our y-axis. And so to find the distance between these 2 points, which is our main task today, we will subtract the y numbers since it is parallel to the y-axis. So as you can see by the first arrow, we'll take negative 3 minus 4, and that'll give us negative 7. Step 2 says find the absolute value of negative 7. Remember, absolute value is sort of that machine or box that you put a number into and it always comes out positive. So our distance is 7. If you were to put this on grid paper and count how many boxes from point A to point B, you would also find that it's 7. So you can do it mathematically, or you can sort of do it a more hands-on way and actually count it out. Let's look at the next one. The next example problem, sort of halfway down the gray box, gives us the point Q, which is negative 4, negative 3. So we go over negative 4, and then down, excuse me, to negative 3. And then P is negative 1, negative 3. Negative 1, negative 3. Okay, so you'll notice here, if we connect those, that's parallel to the x-axis. So we're subtracting the x numbers. Remember, that's the first in each of the coordinate pair sets. So we will take negative 1 minus a negative 4, and so that gives us 3, and of course we absolute value that, and that still gives us 3, and so the distance is 3. Okay, so they've got some practice problems for you at the bottom of page 259. I'll make some space and we'll go through those. Okay, so number 1 says find the distance between the points on the coordinate plane. So D is 1, 3. Let me switch colors here. Maybe that'll make it a little easier. D is 1, 3. So it's about here. And E is 1, negative 4. 1, negative 4. And that's E. All right, so notice it's a vertical line. It's parallel to the y-axis, so we're going to subtract the y's. Okay, so we're going to take, if you're looking at the workbook there, negative 4 minus 3, those are our y numbers, and so we get negative 7, and then we absolute value that, and we get 7, and that was number 1. Number 2, P is negative 3, 0, so we go over to negative 3, and we stay on the axis there because it's 0, and that is point P, and then point Q is negative 7, 0. Negative 7, 0 is Q. Okay, again, so that's, of course, right there on the x-axis, so we're going to be subtracting the x's. So we'll take negative 7 minus a negative 3, okay, and so then we get negative 4, which we absolute value, and get 4 for our distance. Okay, let's take a look at workbook page 260. So for each of those 4 through 11, you're going to plot the points. Again, I would recommend plotting them either on grid paper, or you can probably use the grid at the top of 259 to help you. You could even make your own grid paper on loose leaf, sort of like I did here. So you want to plot those points because then you're going to be able to connect them with a line like I did here and here, would have done here on the x-axis and here, to figure out if it's parallel to the x-axis or the y-axis. That'll help you know if you're going to be subtracting the x numbers or the y numbers. Remember that the first number in your ordered pair is your x, and the second one is your y. okay, which is why we go over on the x first and then up and down for the y. So that should help you know what numbers to subtract for 4 through 11. Again, plot both points, draw the line to see if it's vertical or horizontal. If it's vertical, you are using the y numbers. If it's horizontal, you're using the x numbers, and then you'll subtract, take absolute value, and find your distance. Okay, if you have any questions, please email me. Also, wanted to point out that I made a mistake on your work for tomorrow. Tomorrow's work is on workbook 261 and 262. I had typed 266. You know my typing skills aren't always the best. So a few mistakes as I was typing that this weekend, unfortunately. I'll be sure to edit my work more closely next weekend. So any questions, email me. Have a great day. Thanks.